potential, he did it there. So 40 home runs, 200 career, but the fact that he home run at every ballpark, was it the fact that he...
no.
Okay.
Yes, because he talked about it all spring.
Home run in every ballpark. Okay,
yeah,
there you
a home run in every ballpark. And it's not, so he's been thinking about this, and he loves the fact that it was, I love that he brought up that every ballpark is different, and there are different dimensions everywhere, so he can hit anywhere. He talked about it when I first met him. And I didn't know anything about him, but he was very clear on his goals. And now I said, last I was walking by, but I said, now you have to find new goals. Because he wanted to play in every ballpark, and he wanted to hit a home run in every ballpark. And he did it all this year, and those were his two goals when he went into spring training. And now he has to find some new goals.
Yeah. Well,
which I'm sure he will at the age of 25.
How about October goals? That's where you start, right? That's where you make the memories.
Well, that's good. Well, but he's already got a ring.
I'm talking about us. You don't care about the Nationals? Screw the Nationals.
I don't know. I have 5.
Hey, by the way, I have a question for you, Suzyn. Just indulge me for a moment. I would imagine the answer is no, but somebody said yes. So because I filled in for you those 2 games, okay, and was much below the bar that you've established, but I was in the booth for you. And if the Yankees win the World Series, somebody that night actually said that I'm entitled to a ring. Is that true?
I don't know. Wait a minute. You're entitled to a ring?
Yeah, because
you 2-game fan? Get the hell out of here.
But somebody told me that.
No way.
I don't.
Well, wait a minute. Well, see, they give it to a player. That's a player's thing. You're entitled to a ring if you come up from AAA and you play.
Got it. All right. So
but
the answer
I'll ask if you like.
Yes.
Do you wear yours, Suzyn? Do you ever wear those rings?
Only the 96 ring.
Why that one means
every
the
now
most?
and then. That one means the most. It does. It just does.
God,
it
that
was
awesome.
The first, and nobody expected it, and it was it was different back then. That really was a family. Everybody, broadcasters and everything, and Joe Torre, and there was so much going on emotionally with that whole team, and nobody expected anything. And to watch a team that was supposed to do nothing come together a whole year and turn into what happened. 96 is every now and then. I did the 15th anniversary. I wore that one on Old Timers Day, but usually it's just the 96 ring if it's a special Yankee occasion.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We're talking with Suzyn Waldman. How about Volpe, Suzyn? He's been out of the lineup now a couple of times in the last 8 days. What do you think here down the stretch? Is he going to get, is it guaranteed that Volpe's going to be the starting shortstop in the postseason every game?
Oh, yeah. I don't know every game, but yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, they're just trying to find a way. He's had hills and valleys. The hills are great, and the valleys are really low. And he's been up and down, and they try and pass it off. But I think a couple of days, and by the way, he's played every game until, I think started every game but 3. And counting last night.
Well, that's why I asked, why now? Like, why? I get if you want to give the kid a breather, especially when he was struggling. I mean, he's been struggling the majority of the year after April. Yep. So why all of a sudden now is Boone deciding to give him a rest? That's the only reason why I asked the question.
Well, I think it's where they are in the season, and there was a day off before. My guess is he's back in today. But with the day off, he likes to give people days off where there's another one attached to it. So maybe he did that like that, and maybe they saw something. Like I say, they can predict, and maybe they just think right now was a good time coming out to the coast. Just sit him for a day. I'm sure he's be back there. What I do like about what Volpe is doing is that he doesn't let it hurt him defensively. And he's made some great plays during this. And it's, is it age? I don't know. Is it sophomore slump? I don't know what it is. But I think it was a good idea. My guess is he's back in there today.
Yeah, I may have done it a little bit more frequently earlier, like intermittently throughout, once he cooled off after a great start. My thing with Volpe is, and I believe in him. I believe in his approach. I believe in his work ethic. I believe in his character. I believe in his defense. I believe in his speed. But now, going into year 3, he's not a power guy per se. He's not a high average guy. Like, by year 3, I would have expected to have more of a feel for who he really is going to be. Well,
this is real year 2, right?
I'm saying going into next year, though.
Oh, well, let him finish this year first. I mean, I think the expectations were so high with Anthony Volpe, and last year some of them were met that I don't think he could ever live up to that. And I don't know. It's really hard to work on something and change something during the season. I mean, by year 3, you really should know what someone is, and I don't think we'll know that about Volpe until next year. Were the expectations so high for this kid? He's going to be the next Jeter, and he's from New Jersey, and he's going to be whatever. To me, this all started when they moved him out of the number 9 spot. He was doing perfectly well there, and then they had no leadoff hitter anymore, so because DJ got hurt, so they put him up there, and then for me, that's when it all came back and all started, and now he's got to get it going in the other direction again, if he can.
There's no question. We're going to start wrapping things up. Suzyn Waldman every Wednesday with us, BT and South, throughout the entire, hopefully a long postseason run. Just a little tip of the cap toward history here. I know that you revere like both Sal and I do. I mean, we love the game. We've been around the game. You're there every night at stadiums. So after Seattle, it's off to the Coliseum, which is either charming or an absolute dump, depending upon your perspective. I've been there a lot. I've been there for Jets Raiders. I've been there for A's. I've probably been there about 15 times, and I put it more on the charming side, even though it is disgusting. Are you going to miss it? I mean, that's where the flip play was with Jeter. A lot of history there. And when that place is crowded and the A's are good, that was a pretty vibrant scene.
You know, and it's both. It's both words. And now it's terrible because they let it go. When I started going there in the late 80s, when they were good, when the Bash brothers were there, and that horrible thing that Al Davis put in was not there, and you could see the mountains, and you could see the flowers, and it was yellow and purple and beautiful. The place had 50,000 people in it every night. I thought it was wonderful. I just loved every second of it. LaRusse's teams, you could go out there. The grass was a little longer. It was great stuff. They had the grass a little longer because Ricky liked to bunt. And when Ricky Henderson liked to bunt, he liked to bunt it down the third baseline, and he wanted the grass longer. So it was just a beautiful place. I loved it. It was old, but Fenway Park is old, and I love that. And Wrigley Field is old, and I love that as a fan. And it was wonderful. And then Al Davis put that monstrosity in, and all of a sudden the mountains were gone, and it was cold. And they sold the team, and the guy wasn't putting in the money team. And now there's Possums living in the radio booth, which I love Possums, but I hope they're still there when I get get there. It scared the heck out of Gary Cohen when he was there for the first time. I had to tell him they're lovely. They eat bad things. Leave them alone. They won't hurt you. They're lovely. He said, but they're so ugly. I said, no, they're charming. Anyway, it's both. And I will miss those 80s and early 90s trips there. I love it. Now it's hideous, and it's a shame. It's really awful because you saw the Oakland Raider fans. They're great fans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Great fans. And they treated those A's teams like they treated the Raiders. You'd come in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they're out there tailgating in the parking lot.
It's awesome.
It was a wonderful place, and I'm sorry about the whole thing.
Me too. And you're talking about Mount Davis. For those who don't know, you used to have a real look at the Oakland Hills, and then obviously
the hills, the flowers.
To come back.
He wanted, and to keep them there, and he lied to them too. So to keep them there, he made them put stands, and it covered the whole view, and it's too high, and it's awful, and it turned it into this joke of a bowl. It was horrible. So it was both charming, and now it's a dump.
Got it. And it's not just the stadium, but sadly, it's really a decaying American city, which was once very vibrant. So there's a lot of sadness when I think about the city of Oakland. I'm with you.
There is, because they've tried. They've tried very hard out there, and I hope they can turn it around. But now they've got no sports teams, and I don't know what's going to happen.
You know, Suzyn, I love having you on. I love listening to you because we always learn something, but I did not realize today that I'd be learning that possums are okay. You mean those nasty-looking animals that get in the garbage?
Yeah, they can't help it that they're lovely. I mean, they're ugly. They can't help it. It's not their fault. They don't just eat garbage. They eat bad things. They eat mosquitoes, and they eat bad critters that do bad things to your garden.
Can they eat criminals?
Your dogs.
See,
do they what? I've never asked.
I'm saying, could they? We got a lot of them. Get rid of them.
I have lots of possums up where I live, and they're just there. And have you ever seen a possum playing dead?
Yes.
Yes, it's scary, isn't it?
Yes.
I've had a couple that have gone to go get a shovel to bury it, and they're gone by the time I get the shovel. They even fool my German Shepherds.
Wow.
They never touch them,
Suzyn.
They're great little critters.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, now maybe I'll be okay with them instead of running the other way when I see them taking out the garbage at night.
They won't hurt you.
Okay, that's good to know. I am, just so you know, let's see, November, are you free like November 15th, Strip House in the city, so we could celebrate Juan Soto signing with the Mets?
Okay, I don't eat meat. So
okay. Well, then, no steakhouse. Can we do like an Italian place or something? Yeah, maybe we'll do a nice Italian spot.
Okay, I don't eat wheat. I don't eat.
What do you eat? Susan, what do you eat? We're learning even more here. What is it? Just fish? You want to go sushi spot?
Fish,
Okay.
chicken.
I love
turkey.
sushi. Yeah. all right.
Okay. All
Sushi.
right.
I love sushi.
All right, there
Okay.
you
Good
go.
sushi spot. You in for that, BT?
I love sushi.
All right.
Have sushi once a week. My daughter
There
loves
we
it.
go.
Big
All right.
sushi family, no doubt.
All right, you pick a sushi spot. I'll be there.
You're the best,
Wait,
Susan.
November. You think he's going to sign by November?
Susan, he's
15th?
nuts. You know.
I mean,
you know
it was
this.
just
Come on.
being
He's out of
ambitious,
his
Susan.
mind.
Ambitious. Maybe December. Who knows?
Just like Yamamoto. Susan, awesome spot. Thank you very much.
All right, talk to you next week.
You
Thank
got
you,
it.
Susan.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
And I
she's
just
the best.
listen. Possum are not aggressive. Their open-mouthed defensive hissing is merely a bluff to look vicious. So kind of like
all
you.
works.
So kind of like you.
Yeah,
You talk
right.
tough, and there's nothing backing it up.
That is true. Yeah. Did I say that? I didn't mean it.